to recover up from the game on Tuesday?
To recover, just a lot of hours in the training room, really. Coach had mandatory treatment for everybody yesterday to come in and get, whatever we need, whether it be ice, stretching, massages, that sort of thing. And then also this week during practice, kind of taking it off of the contact portions of practice a little bit, making sure everybody's shoulders and legs and really necks are fresh for the game. And then also just kind of getting prepared physically. Mentally, it's just it's putting the past behind us and just focusing on what we have coming forward. Coach Jinks says every week that it's a 1 week or a 1 game season at this point. And that's how we got to focus on it mentally to get prepared this week. So.
Is this game different? What's it like to play in this game?
Yeah, it's we always approach it as just another game in order to the same in regards to the same amount of preparation, maybe a little bit more preparation just because of the weight of the game. But from that's just from the inside. But the outside looking in, it's a much bigger game. There's a lot of history behind the UT-BG rivalry. There's a lot of alum that really enjoy coming to the game and really have high expectations for not only the outcome but just the overall competition throughout the game. So it's in our minds we're just going to approach it the same we approach any other game. But of course there's going to be that extra weight thrown on there because it is the I-75 rivalry.
Nobody in this building has ever beat Toledo. How much has that eaten at you guys?
Honestly, a lot, because even in high school, I didn't beat my rival very much, and then coming back, so that personally, it's eaten at me a lot. They're actually the only team in the MAC we haven't beaten. I haven't personally beaten in general, and then everybody, even going 2 or 3 years back to guys that I'm pretty close with, were never able to beat them. So it's definitely a goal very high up on our list, if not the highest goal that we have, and especially. Yeah, so it would mean the world to us to pull this one out, and yeah.
How much can this game change the outlook of the season when you look back on just the way things have gone?
Yeah, I in my mind, wins like this they don't completely erase what's happened, because obviously we still need to look back at this season and focus on, okay, what could we improve on and move on to next season, but honestly, there would be like a huge just weight lifted off our shoulders. We can look back at the season and say that we had success, because we were able to pull, probably the biggest win that we've had in a couple of years out, on an excellent night, national television, senior night, home game. I mean, it's going to be an excellent atmosphere. So that would be a season-defining moment for us for sure.
Defensively, what needs to get done to stop that Toledo offense?
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons. They have excellent receivers, probably some of the best, actually most definitely some of the best of the receivers that we'll see in the MAC. They have a great quarterback, excellent running back. So they're an all-around, just a very good offense. And so what we have to do as a defense is just really mix it up. We gotta change up our coverage looks, change up the way that the linebackers fit the run. Having different pieces at different times just to give them a different picture, so that we can cause as much confusion on their side of the ball as possible. But also, prepare like we've never. Well, we've always, as a defense, going into every game, I felt like we've been pretty prepared. We've called out a lot of plays, especially earlier on in the game, and doing even more study of this team so that we can really catch on to tendencies and really know what's coming before it happens. And I think that mixing it up and really understanding what happens before it happens is how how we need to prepare as a defense.
Is there any discouragement, after last week struggling against a team that is in some ways similar to Toledo's offense?
Yeah, a little bit. Even coming off of the win the week before, twice this year we've come off of a win and then lost the next week. So it's definitely been discouraging. And when we watch the film, even though Toledo has a similar style of offense, especially in the run game, you go back to it, and defensively we felt like we, obviously there were errors made, mistakes made, which led to touchdowns. But for the most part, that we were happy but not satisfied with the effort and the way that we improved run fits, especially from the second level, the linebackers and the safeties, compared to previous games. So there were improvements made, and so we feel like there are definitely going to be more improvements made. So we're not as discouraged as one may think, if at all, at the moment. So.
Looking back at Buffalo for a moment, what were, in your eyes, the causes for the struggles in past D?
We have a lot of scenarios where we have guys in one-on-one situations, and that puts a lot of, doing that over and over and over puts a lot of stress on your secondary, and we play a lot of plays, so doing that, we obviously try to mix it up, but for the most part, doing that 50 plus times, it's good. There's going to be some mistakes that occur, or even some kind of fatigue takes control, and then when you're in those one-on-one situations, you have to make sure that your eyes, coaches always talk about having your eyes in the right spots. So these one-on-one, and so that occasionally somebody gets caught up in looking into the backfield too long, or getting looking at the fake too long, or something like that, where that split second is enough to have that man go on past you. So just a few fixable things caused our issues on, what was it, Tuesday night?
Right.
I lose track of the days.
Would you compare, it seemed to me, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys were very aggressive in blitzing at Kent. Am I right to say that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Were you as aggressive against Buffalo? Did you same amount, more or less?
So the reason we were so aggressive in Kent was because, so you were right there, the reason we were so aggressive in Kent is because they lined up in the formation where, in sets that would put us into those aggressive blitz calls. So we only have those checks when they came out in a specific formation, and we had the same kind of setup heading into Buffalo. They just didn't give us the same kind of offensive sets that Kent did, and so we just didn't get into it as much. But I mean, you look on third down, and we definitely tried to apply some pressure there. We tried to get to the quarterback, because obviously you get in any quarterback's face, no matter how good he is, he's going to make mistakes when he feels pressure. So, and I felt like we definitely had some good holes there. If we would have had maybe a split second longer, we would have gotten to him a little bit more. But hats off to him. He did a pretty good job of getting rid of the football, and his receivers making clutch catches when they needed to. But yeah, that was we had a similar mindset heading into Buffalo, but they just didn't give us the certain sets that we were looking for to apply that pressure.
Based on personnel, like a lot of 12s and stuff like that?
Yeah, based on personnel, based on where they lined up, if they were more spread out or if they were closer together. So.
Did you watch Ohio play Toledo on Wednesday?
I did not. I was. We had a speaker that night, and then after that, I was so exhausted from the night before that I just passed out. But I did not. But I did hear about it. Okay. I definitely heard about it.
Have you seen the film at all?
No, I have not. I'm actually, after this, I'll be that's the next step. Mm-hmm.
I guess, what's something that you can say to the younger guys heading into this game, just to kind of prepare? Yeah,
this is definitely a game where you can't let. So I would advise them that this is a game that they really can't let their emotions get out of hand. There's going to be. This will probably be one of the bigger atmospheres that they've ever played in. We don't travel a lot of them to, when we played Michigan State or Northwestern, where there's really big, loud atmospheres. And every year Toledo is never disappointed in the crowd that the BG-UT game brings together. So just advising them not to let their emotions get out of control, which is easier said than done. Obviously, I was the same way as freshman, or even a younger guy playing for the first time against a big-time rival. But definitely keeping the emotions in check, and then also, just doing what you know how to do. Don't try to do something that you're not supposed to in order to make a huge play in a rivalry game. I mean, you're still young. You have plenty of opportunities to make plays, and I'd advise them that they're actually more likely to make a play if they're stay in the positions that coaches have placed them in.